I'm not exactly sure how we got here, but we have reached our 100th show.
We thought about throwing a giant party, but instead, we just wanted to spend time with you, our listeners, just to talk Destiny.
We answer your questions as we gear up for our coverage of the U.S. National Championships next week.
This is episode 100, a Chance Cube milestone.
Episode 100.
You have been well trained.
No. You don't have to carry a sword to be powerful.
I won't fail you.
Oh, do not.
I'm not afraid.
Please don't try.
All right.
I broke my internet. I was on my own Wi-Fi.
Oh, you broke your own internet?
It's all better now.
Oh, that's good. Your husband's not breaking your internet for you.
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay.
He's working on the price watch.
Oh, perfect.
Good.
See, that is why we have a price watch that is
Yes.
so on time every week, because while Kim's doing the podcast, her husband is scrubbing prices from the two stores whose websites are not designed for my for our tool that uses. Anyways, a long
This takes
story.
longer than you would think. I mean,
It does. It
really
does take a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, we're here. We've done
We are
100
here.
shows. That doesn't
That's
count,
pretty
of course,
exciting.
our ancillary things and our random event shows and Matt's Canto Bite and all that stuff. But 100 numbered Chance Cube shows. That's a lot.
100.
That
Yes.
means if on an average we spend an hour an episode, we spent over 100 hours talking about Star Wars Destiny, and
Wow.
you have listened to over 100 hours of us talking about Star Wars Destiny. Who has the
I'd
short
be
end
better
of
at
this
it
stick?
by now.
I think we've resolved that that they just enjoy
banter or
laughing
witty
at us.
banter.
I think my daughters took over the chat right now downstairs. It says that
What?
Oh, that is fantastic.
I must be logged in downstairs as the Chance Cube because they're saying hello from the Hill Girls. That is my daughters watching the stream from downstairs.
That's awesome.
It's just seen enough.
At least they watch your stream. Reese.
Yes, they do.
Oh, well, at least your husband's working on Chance Cube stuff while the stream's going on.
I guess
yes.
that's a legit excuse.
Yeah.
It is a really excuse. But we're here to talk about Star Wars Destiny for our 100th show. I do believe that if you are watching this show live, Mike Hill has some giveaways for the end of this show. A
do.
plethora of
Tons.
Look at all them purdy things.
So if you're watching the show live and you know someone who's not watching the show live, tell them to come on. We'll be giving those away after the show concludes in about, as long as we can talk, which sometimes
We need to keep a set for those that listen later. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I got
We
tons.
need to
I have
think on
like,
this.
if you can see that giant pile over there on the bed. Those
I-
are all part
Oh,
of
there
the-
is tons.
There's tons.
Oh my.
I guess we can do a giveaway for those who aren't listening live.
Yeah, we can definitely do a giveaway for those who aren't
Because
listening
we
live.
love you guys too. At least I do.
Yeah, for
I'd
sure.
share my cake with you if I
Of course,
could.
not everybody can watch this show live, and those who do get to talk to us while it's going on. So we appreciate that.
We'll figure it out.
Or distract us.
Or
Whichever.
whatever. That's
Yes.
why this show has such a great, plan of attack and flow. Words are. Kim,
Yes.
I heard you found a deck that you like.
I
Good
found a deck.
segue.
First, I want to tell you guys that I'm here for cake. I did. So we had a store championship on Sunday. So last show, I told you guys I was going to take Gungans for a test drive on Wednesday. They fell flat on their face, me along with it. Not to say that I don't enjoy the deck. The deck is the Gungan deck is a ton of fun to play. But what I found in my local meta is it just wasn't fast enough.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't. Here's a new one. I couldn't roll blanks.
Yes, it works.
Which is what I thought would happen. I mean, I'm pretty sure. So I've come to the conclusion. I was talking to someone in the Hangout as well because we played almost the exact same deck on the exact same day and had almost the exact same results of. Like, I couldn't hit anything, so I couldn't hit damage, nor could I hit blanks. So I think I'm still going to tinker with that one because it still was a lot of fun to play.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't want to take it to a store championship because I didn't have that amount of time to tinker. So instead, I built a completely new deck that I didn't get to tinker at all. But I played E-Rose, Jetta.
Ooh.
Jetta Partisan.
Yeah.
So, also, not probably what most would expect, considering there's an awful lot of milling action happening in that deck, but it does damage. So, I was able to go toe-to-toe with a vehicle deck, but I also went toe-to-toe with a mill deck. In fact, he and I milled each other, which was kind of fun. It made me playing against mill not near as frustrating because we were neck and neck. And honestly, I made some cocky choices at the end. I don't know what else to call it. That led to my initial losing that match. I think if I just kept my cool and thought through a couple more things, I would have had more cards I wouldn't have been milled at the same time he was. But so it literally came down to the last play of the game, but he was able to claim the battlefield. But that deck was a lot of fun. So it's not throwing out that, but it's throwing out mill and discard stuff as well as some good indirect damage. So a fun vehicle deck. I really enjoyed it. It's a very similar build to what your Destiny has in their Gauntlet, but I tweaked it a little bit based on cards that I had and that I could get locally, and just things I thought that would work better for me. Like I added a CPO into my deck, but
yeah.
Very cool.
It's fun.
Well, hey, I mean, the game is only fun when you have a deck that you really enjoy playing, and sometimes that's not the deck. Sometimes it's not the deck that everyone else is playing. Sometimes it's something either unique or less popular, or something that is popular but you've changed it to fit your style. It's good to know that what your style is and what kinds of things you like to do.
Mm-hmm.
I like to roll die that aren't blanks, apparently. Or I only like to wear blanks.
Well, I thought you liked to roll blanks. You don't know.
I thought I did, and then that Gungan deck was like, ha ha ha, sucker.
You like to roll everything.
Let you roll anything.
Need. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and it is. It comes down to, it's not that I can't, it's just that I can't roll what I need. So I also could not roll blanks when I needed them, regardless of the fact that a ton of my cards with die on them have 2 blank sides on them. That's the day.
Sure.
It was resources, disrupt, or shields all day long. But that deck is still fun. Like, I would still recommend playing the Gungan deck, in a fun event. Absolutely.
Yeah, very cool. What about you, Mike? You've been having some store championship action, have you not?
Yeah, last weekend I played in a store championship over at Game Castle Mountain View. There was 16 players. I TO'd and I also played. Cool. I did 6th overall. I ran. I'll show the deck list here.
I know. I should have grabbed my deck list. My apologies.
It was Kylo
Mike's
Price.
is cooler than mine.
So it was the crap deck. I teched it to play against Mill, and all my matchups all day were aggro Luke Ray or vehicle. So I definitely wasn't teched against those, and just the more dice they always rolled better than me on the opening roll to take their battlefield, and this deck really limps without its battlefield. And I wasn't running new orders, which is a definite change I will make, just so that if I don't get it, I can definitely change the battlefield and then instantly resolve one of Arinda's dice to resolve one of Kylo's dice for +1. So that is one change I'll definitely make. And then going into my next store championships, there's a few other tweaks. I'll have a write-up on over here on SW Destiny DB shortly. So it was a good day. Shout out to Steven from the Chico group who took it. He played really well that day. 4-0'd, and had a really good day. So
nice.
Yeah, it was. Cool. Other than that, I have still been playing a ton of emo kids because I can't get away from that pairing. I think it's super aggressive. I still feel more confident than I do with this Kylo Rinda deck, but I think over time I'll definitely feel better with this, along with some more tweaks. Yeah, that's about.
I almost built the Kylo Price deck that you guys keep telling me about.
It's good. It's just you are really dependent on getting that battlefield. If you don't hit that opening roll, it's really tough because it delays you getting to the claim, and if you're getting delayed getting to the claim, then so you can just get behind, and then you're backpedaling the whole time, either trying to stack shields. And I wasn't even prepared for that. I was really prepared for Mill, and I didn't see it all day, which was really tough. Like, I ran things like closing the net to control a die and then go to the bottom of your deck. I was also running Ancients, and I ended up pitching closing the nets for rerolls or using it to just control one die, which really wasn't even that. It was not cost effective. And then I was using my Ancients to just quickly heal and looping it with lightsaber pull. So it was like a real uphill battle all day with this deck against really shield generating aggro that you get with Kylo and Rey. Either Rey, really. I saw both Reys paired today on Saturday. Really? And they were both really aggressive. They were both really tough. One's getting shields, one's getting a free action. It's just it was a very gnarly uphill battle, and villain vehicle is definitely getting stronger. It is I
saw one of those.
I may even shy away from a 2-character deck to start trying some vehicle stuff, because traditionally, like, obviously I play villain, but I also traditionally only play 2-character or less with Snoke, so or a Palpatine. I'm sorry, Palpatine. So it's getting really, really tough with 2 characters to stay alive in this meta where you're looking at like 29-30 health on average to try and chew through. And if you take your battlefield, then they got 2 more health instantly. They got 2 shields instantly, and you got to frighten those off, or you got to you have to do like something to try and get those shields off to work around it. And it's a very uphill battle for 2-character pairings. Yeah,
I would agree. Yeah, the villain vehicle deck that it's not I went against 2 different vehicle decks. One was another Rose build, but one was that Snoke, Dr. Aphra, Sienna deck. We had some interesting builds. The mill that I lost to was a Yoda Leia, General Leia.
You know, if you're not worried about your die sides, you're only worried about like Snoke's ability or Aphra's ability, or you're using them for their abilities in general, then you don't need to elite them, and then that really opens up a lot of 3-wides, and then you're just relying on all your supports to do tons of damage and just really just dominate the game. I played a local player, Danny McKnight. He ran a vehicle deck, and Friends in High placed a tank, and also had a planetary bombardment on first turn.
Wow.
That's a 5 cost and a 6 cost on first turn. Doing friends in low places, friends in high places, just getting a ton of resources. Yes, it was amazing. And there's like nothing you can do about that. He's rolling out 6 to 7 damage on one die. Like that's crazy.
Well, I know. I looked. There was somebody playing next to me, and all I heard was somebody say 9 damage on Rey. Now, Jim ran a Rey Obi-Wan build. The guy he played that did that to him had Grievous and Royal Guard, and in a matter of seconds, had enough upgrades on Grievous that he was rolling 9 damage, and that was low.
Yeah, I mean, it's big swings like that are not a big deal anymore, and you definitely need to, like, that's why, like I said, 2-character pairings are getting very, very tough.
Yeah.
Impulse asked 16 people, is that what you're expecting, more or less? Local metas are hard to gauge. Yeah, I was not. I honestly I didn't know, because when I put the word out that we were having the event, it was kind of late, and I didn't get a lot of response, and then I only got like 2 or 3 people telling me they were coming. So I was thinking maybe 6 to 10. So it was more than I thought. It was definitely a good turnout, and some good players came to play. Shout out to Noel. He's a really good player. He's from the Hella Squadron. He plays a ton of X-Wing, but also a very good Destiny player. I played him at Kubla Khan. I played him all over the place. So yeah, shout out to Noel. I ended up taking him first game, but he was a very tough opponent playing Rey, Old Man Luke.
Excellent.
Yeah. What about you, Jason?
Oh, Jason has been busy packing and sorting cards, and built a deck just to take up to Nova just to play. Unfortunately, I'm not able to play in U.S. Nationals with all the coverage that we're going to be doing, but I will have a deck there to play for anybody who wants to sit down and play a casual game. Sarah is taking her Rex Double Clone Trooper, which has served her very well, and I got inspired to not rebuild. I've actually never played Yoda Hondo, but I saw one really do some work at a local event recently with just a couple of Way of the Force cards thrown in, but pretty impressed with it. So I've got a variation of that I'm going to take with me, just to scooter pook around, as they say.
Is that a saying?
Not in Ohio.
I don't know.
I don't know. I make up stuff all the time. Speaking of moving on, let's just move on before I talk myself into. Just go.
What are we doing? There we go. Let's go. Let's go to the news.
Let me take that back, huh? You'll find what you need.
All right.
So, news-wise, we did have a nice little taste of what's to come post U.S. Nationals with our Season 3 prize kit for our local store events. I believe there's a lot of opinions on these store kits. These store kits cost the stores $10 to $15, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. So they really can make their money back pretty quickly on these if you have a nice, well-attended tournament, throw in some packs for prizes. The Way of the Light alternate art card for the top 16. In a lot of cases, that's going to be everyone who attends, which is nice. And then your Dark Sabers and then your damage tokens. I personally think they're really upping the quality of the art on these cards.
I would agree with that.
Between these and I know not everybody had mixed opinions on the Force Speed art from the store championships, but just for them going out for the more colorful, the really, taking that full art to the extreme. Even it's minor detail, but the fact how Sabine kind of is on top of the Darksaber title card on here, I love how it's great.
Isn't nice. That's the same art that was on the mat, right? Like the Darksaber art, wasn't that what was on the World's Winner map for this year?
That's a good question. I think you are correct.
Yeah, we have seen. I think we have seen that art before.
Yeah, and it was just great that they're leveraging that here. It's interesting. If I'm not mistaken, all the promos are printed in house because you can tell they're slightly different than the cards that are produced overseas. So they can be turned around quicker. Interesting that they chose these cards and not something more popular. But then again, the store championship was a spot gloss Ahsoka, which is not a character that's in the meta right now.
Why?
So
nobody wants that card.
Ahsoka?
Yeah.
Oh man, there was people were scouring for it locally here.
Really? I wasn't a fan. And she's not playing.
I really wanted it.
So I was very
curious.
I like
the style, because I saw the Kanan from Worlds, and I like those. I like how they're at least putting some imprints on them. Like there's some cool little gold leaf. I think it was from the Worlds, and then some. I like those little details to the cards.
Yeah, the first and second.
Not necessarily the characters, but I like the details that they're putting into them.
Yeah, the card is very nice. I will admit, but it's. Of all characters, why Ahsoka? Do they see something in the meta that we're not seeing?
You think they would actually choose a prize card that? And it would be interesting if that's like a strategy of theirs, right? We're gonna put these cards out as prizes to see if anybody actually figures out how to use them well, just so they would play with them.
Because I feel like past history has not been that, other than maybe Electroshock, is probably the one exception to that rule that. They rolled an alt art card for it, and then they were all kind of.
Let's remember World's alt art from Worlds last year was Mon Mothma.
Woo! She's seen lots of play.
And this year was Palpatine, so that's. Granted, Palpatine's kind of been in and out of the meta, but much more popular character.
But then he's gonna cycle. I guess they gave that to you in May, but he's still gonna cycle out relatively soon from that.
Well. #Force Speed.
I think they got it right. They got it right at Gen Con with the Kylo Ray flips. I think they got it right with that one. Those are two characters that are played on both sides a lot.
Yep.
Yep, I totally agree.
Sure. That's so great. But it's nice. I think people would hope that there was something more. I don't think we're going to ever see anything more, and I don't really think there needs to be. Right? They need to keep these price points down so the stores continue to purchase them, so that people come out for the weekly local events. There will always be, there'll always be bigger and better events around the corner. Regionals is kind of where we're all looking towards, which is probably some point after Way of the Across the Galaxy is released. So this will be a nice little holdover until that next phase. Once U.S. Nationals happens, we'll be in that period of the meta where it doesn't matter as much. We're going to see a lot more experimentation because the meta is going to shift when the new set comes out. And we're not looking at this point. The next big event after is regionals, and then so there's a whole nother set between now and then. So this is a good time to go out and try some things, because after U.S. Nationals, then at least here in the United States, that's the thing. I haven't been keeping up with where all the galactic qualifiers are, but it seems like those are either less coverage, or there aren't as many. I'm not really sure which at this point.
I don't think they're firing right now.
I think so too. And I just saw on Facebook somebody say that it was somewhere in an over the seas country. Oh man, I can't remember who it was. Over the seas. That they were getting a galactic qualifier that they had not previously had.
A guacamole qualifier?
That's the Mexico one.
Yeah, it wasn't there. I remember that.
Let's see.
Maybe I feel like it could have been Germany, but I'm not sure. I'm seeing if the
on the Galactic Qualifier website, it doesn't even say anything about upcoming events.
That's lovely.
Monk said he wants a guac qualifier.
Delicious.
That's a whole. I can get behind that.
I don't see anything about.
I could win that sucker.
Galactic Qualifier.
You guys are a mess. Anyways, so we're a week and a half away from U.S. Nationals. The Nova Open is hosting the U.S. Nationals for all of Fantasy Flight's Star Wars games this year, which is awesome. Please stay tuned here. We're not going to be doing a show next Tuesday night while I'm traveling, and there will be 4 full days of streaming for Star Wars Destiny. We'll be streaming all rounds of Swiss for both days. We'll be streaming the Top Cut, and God willing, we'll be streaming the draft on Sunday. So I think it'd be cool to get some draft action out there. So definitely check that out here. I'll be there with Ruben Sanchez for commentary all weekend. And then anyone else you run across, I know there's plenty of well-known names from the community who will be out there playing and representing. And then also one of the unique things that Nova does, aside from we talked about last week, they've created a side event that's a little unique in the Battle Royale. So check that out if you're heading to Nova. We'll have an article from Simon Willis, aka Sith Holocron, coming out this week about that event, and then a similar event or another event they're doing in the UK that's also kind of a unique event.
Yeah, he's got some cool info on that.
But Nova hosts a panel for Star Wars Destiny, which is kind of an interesting because no one else does this. They gather some folks to sit around and talk about Star Wars Destiny and the future of the game and the state of the game where it's at now. The guests for the panel this year, so far confirmed, are going to be Rick from the Knights of Ren. I believe Ruben Sanchez from the Chance Cube, that's us, will be there.
Oh boy, you're in for a treat.
Yeah, I know.
No, I love Ruben. But you get that guy going and you need some duct tape.
We'll be inviting one of the finalists from the U.S. Nationals to be part of the panel as well. And also on the panel will be the lead designer Jeremy Zorn. So,
it was a good time with Jeremy.
Nice.
I hope he wears his badge, his little judge badge we made him up for. Sheriff badge. Yeah.
By the way, you mentioned Simon Willis, and he really helped me with that deck I played at my last Store Championship.
He's a good egg.
Yeah, Matt hooked us up, and we talked about that because he's been playing that deck extensively. And I definitely made some last minute changes because of suggestions that he had made. So Shout out to
Very
Sith
cool.
Holocron.
Yeah, so check that out. I'm pretty sure the panel won't be streamed, but we'll try and bring anything that comes out of it. I'm hosting, so hopefully I'll be able to pull something out of these people that'll be of interest to report. And then Kim and Matt will make sure to get that stuff out to the peoples. To the peeps. Via the
Find
Facebook
us on
link.
the social media stuff. Actually, I'll probably be jumping in and hanging out in the chattersons as I can.
On the Twitch stream, on the stream.
I have to
So
work
check that
those
out.
days, but I'll try to hop in there where I can.
Absolutely. So if you feel so inclined, this would be kind of our last push here. You see the donation bar at the top. We're trying to raise some money for the Nova Open and to underwrite some of our costs as well for this event, which would be really helpful because otherwise this is all coming out of our own pockets here at the Chance Cube. Half of the money donated will go straight to the Nova Open Charitable Foundation. You can check it out at thechancecube.com/Nova. Anything's appreciated. We'll be presenting anything that is earned to the Nova Open Charitable Foundation at the event this weekend. So help us out. Help this out. Oh yeah, next weekend. I got a whole week.
I was like,
I got a
wait
whole
a
week to pack.
minute.
I mean, I have to work.
So
and
confused for a
things.
second. Whew.
That's all
It's the
good.
whole week of my life.
But yeah, so check it out. We really appreciate any help that you can provide. But what we really want to do, the website.
This is
It's
the
up here.
website. Everybody,
Somewhere.
it's right here.
For
Get
the
to it. For
the-
But
donating.
seriously though, even like $1 helps.
Yeah.
Honestly,
absolutely.
if everybody who wanted to watch the stuff on stream and everybody talked about wanting to see streams at Gen Con,
Everybody complain.
chucking $1, you can make that a whole heck of a lot easier to get brought to you.
And someday we will maybe after Nova we do it may be interesting to do a show topic about what it takes to stream at these events. Like actually do. I mean, I'm not saying we do a great stream, but like what we do and how much it costs to just get into it and what that effort is. Just
Yeah, if you only knew how much it was to have a good internet connection at a convention, we weren't kidding about that earlier. You get there and you can kind of post on social media and stuff like that, but if you want to do anything, like it's a lot harder to try to use a hotel stream or a Wi-Fi stream, or you need a hard.
I have a fun story about those adventures that we can save for another time.
Ooh.
Impulse,
Anyways.
if you want Gen Con coverage, go ahead and write an email to Gen Con and let them know you want us to cover Star Wars Destiny next year, because they don't have a lot of coverage there. We'll just say that. I'm not going to lose my media badge over anything I say.
Oh, I'd love to go to Gen Con next year. Is it kid friendly? Can I bring an 8-month-old to Gen Con?
You can bring an 8-month-old that I will play with.
But you
Well, here's how it
can.
goes.
I wouldn't
I
bring
can
my
come to Indy.
8-month-old.
I can play with the kiddo. You could go into the crowded craziness, and I'll just play with the kiddo. It'll be fine.
So you're saying if me, Sarah, and Ray come up to Gen Con,
Mhm.
that we just get you a room and you'll just babysit
Yeah.
the kid while we go
Yeah.
to cover. Excellent.
Yes.
I like that plan.
What?
Because I love playing with other
Mine
people's
too?
kids.
My kids too?
Yeah, why not? Your kids are cute as crap. Yeah.
Yeah.
His kids move though. Mine won't be. Well,
Yeah,
actually,
they're helpful.
by
I love
then-
everybody
By
else's
then, mine will
kids.
be able to crawl.
Yeah,
So.
for sure.
Anyways, this has gotten nowhere real fast. So let's actually do what we're
That's
here to do.
most of our shows.
And talk about some Star Wars Destiny.
But first, a word from our sponsor.
You know, Mike, I just can't seem to get the cards I need in the booster packs I bought. I'm still missing a Mother Talzin, a Darth Maul, and I need some more battle droids. That 5-wide droid deck isn't going to build itself, and I have all these extra Yodas.
Seriously, Kim, I told you, check out Armada Games. You can buy and sell Destiny cards on their website, shoparmada.com. It's just a few simple clicks and bam, you are done. I used it just the other day, and now I got two Maul Sabers heading my way.
Hey, what are you guys talking about? We're in the middle of a break here.
Jason, you know how you've got all those extra cards from all those booster boxes you open? Mike says you can sell them online super easy.
No way, seriously? How? I've got to make room before this next set comes out.
Jason, whether you're new to the game or a seasoned vet, Armada Games has just what you're looking for. You can buy and sell your Destiny singles all from the comfort of your living room. Pre-order the latest sets of boosters and find the droids you are looking for. You can also check out their selection of Destiny accessories. And you'll get free shipping on orders over $75. For an even better deal, be sure to use the coupon code TheChanceCube and receive 5% off your Destiny purchase. Visit their website at shoparmada.com. Armada Games. Get in here and game.
But you know what I always say. Speak softly and drive a big tank.
Keeps eating cake.
Just keeps eating
So-
birthday cake.
So for our 100th episode, I told the boys that we would have cake. So I'm having cake.
And I forgot I totally failed. I was
just
actually.
It's a
drink.
cinnamony, icing covered, deliciously goodness that unfortunately is getting a little dry.
That's all I got. So
Yum, yum, yum.
we turned the show over to you guys this week. We asked you to ask us questions. That was part of our question of the week, was to question us, which is, it's always fun. I think we've done maybe 2 of these in the history of the show, but every time we do it, it's just like, it's fun, and the show ends up being way longer than it should be. Well, I know.
Because our English is bad.
Way too longer.
Maybe because our grammar is so poor, but I don't know.
But you know, I mean, for better or worse, we have some solid questions this week that are not a plethora of.
Oh, keep going.
So
I'm
just
just hitting all
shove.
the wrong buttons on my computer.
You're hitting the wrong buttons on your computer.
My apologies.
That's fine.
You guys, if you want to ask us a question, go ahead and drop it in the chat too. We will add those questions if they are worthy. If they're worthy.
If they're worthy.
If they're
Some of
worthy.
these aren't worthy, but we're going to answer them anyways. So in no particular order, we'll just answer some of these questions that you guys
All right,
asked
let's
us
do
for
it.
Facebook. First
I'm
off, our
ready.
buddy Billy Fellon,
Billy!
good old Billy from the Richmond, Virginia area, friend of Ruben Sanchez, who seems to come up on this show way too much.
I still have
char-
Billy's more my friend than Ruben's now.
What character do you enjoy playing with the most, even if they aren't the most competitive?
Ooh.
Ahsoka.
Han.
I played Grievous in a draft and it was really fun, but it wasn't.
I did that too. It wasn't
very
as fun.
good. No.
It wasn't very good. I concur.
I think
Yeah,
I
played
actually think
Grievous in a draft.
Impulse can testify to that. I think he saw it. It wasn't pretty, but it was fun.
I sat on that Han Leia deck for all of Awakenings and most of Spirit of Rebellion, and I love to play it, but it just can't get there.
Mm-hmm. No, it's fair. I mean, I think every once in a while there's a deck that we gravitate to that just never, it never, gets past, tier crap status. But we keep playing it because we either believe in it so much or it's just so much fun. I think for me it was Ahsoka, and I can't even remember what I paired her with, but I played Ahsoka something for way too long.
Monk is gonna get real mad, but I love playing Palpatine, and he can never get there. He can get
Oh no!
he can
gonna
get
fall out the
so
chair.
close. He's always so close, but he's just not quite there. And Monk is like a warrior for Palpatine, and it's just it's so close. And I played it all first season, like tough.
Yeah.
I took it to so many store championships. I did win a store championship with it, but it was like a second place scoop type situation. Won't go there, but it was just the deck is. I want it to be like tier 1, but it's so close.
I did love my Palpatine. That's the best
had
Star
a
Championship
bromance
finish.
with your Palpatine.
I did. I think I mentioned him every week on the show for like 20 episodes.
Mm-hmm.
Somewhere in the 50s range, mostly because I actually did really well in a store, like it was a 34-person store championship, and I was like top 4. That was also the Po Maz era, and Sarah topped 8 with the Po Maz. Like that's when we were actually was really decent at the game. Then we start.
I'm getting more plays in now.
No plays.
I can't make it to my local play tomorrow, but oh well.
All right, next question.
Oh,
Do that.
this got serious. Sorry, we started self-reflecting on our ability. What's going on here? Zachary Shields asked, if you could make a character, who would it be, and what would their die size or ability be? Oh, I should have looked at this before I read it.
Yeah, right. That's a tough one. Ooh,
I mean,
I feel like if it were like a set or two ago, there's a lot of characters that I would have said.
Mm-hmm.
But this
now,
all right.
a lot of things are.
Okay,
Are you
I
going
got
in?
one. I'm going.
You got
in.
it?
I'm going Max Rebo.
Woo.
He's got no blanks.
I like that.
He's got one discard, 2 discard, 1 disrupt, 2 disrupt, special, and his specials are make your opponent choose and remove 2 die. He can manipulate you with his sweet jams. He could just play that. He could just play like just the sweetest of jams and manipulate you to do all kinds of stuff.
Oh God.
We lost Kim. Kim's gone.
Oh God.
What is it like? I feel like Max Rebo as a character would have like 6 health.
He's so squishy. But okay, so maybe that's the thing. He's got 6 health.
I mean, okay, so if Max Rebo was a 6-point character, then I need to have like Yuzum and Sice Noodles, and then like 2 backup dancers, all 6-point characters. So we can have the whole
modal nodes.
Yes.
Nice.
the whole Java's Palace band.
So yeah, so maybe he's squishy. He's super powerful.
I have a skirt for
but
this,
he's squishy, and you just shield him so maybe only 1 special side and 1 that's got like 2 shields.
If he was a character, I would have to have like piano keys as tokens. Just saying.
Yeah.
No, that's awesome.
All right.
I'm surprised you wouldn't say an Ewok, Jason.
I was leaning. I was actually like, Wicket is my first. Is my first go to. Like he would be like
Care Bear on Myth. I mean,
7 or 8 point character that's got like 7 or 8 health and a couple melee sides and I don't know. I'm not sure what his ability would be though. Like exhaust 9 unique characters. That'd be kind of cool.
Ooh.
But then because he like just hits stormtroopers in the knees and they fall down, and blast them in the face.
Maybe he can do some sort of like hidden tactic. Like for the first attack each turn, you like dodge basically. But then we're getting into a whole new mechanic.
Oh, I mean, I'm saying, do Ewoks have like a Hearthstone stealth mechanic in them?
Yeah, they have some sort of dodge. Like, first attack per turn, you don't get hit.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, because they'd be like in the shrubs.
So I kind of want to see Satine from a thematic standpoint. I don't know that she would be, I don't know. Useful. I guess she probably would be that more powerful than Padme. But she's got a little more. I guess she can be comparable. You could have some diplomatic. Give her a couple range sides. Mm-hmm. Give her some kind of advantage to being paired with Obi-Wan.
Ooh, would she be neutral?
Maybe. I'd be okay with that.
Did you see Impulse in the chat? What he said, Jakasanu, Master Librarian. So this is a mechanic in a lot of other card games where it's a librarian. When you discard, it goes underneath that character. When you activate, 2 go back into the bottom of your deck, or when she dies, they all go back into your deck.
Interesting.
So it's like an anti-mill type character. That's pretty interesting.
That'd be interesting.
Yeah. And it could be super weak because that's huge. I mean, even if you put 7 cards back into your deck, that's massive. You could discard a reroll a ton of times and they just go back into your deck. And onto the bottom of your deck so you know when they're coming. Mm-hmm. Interesting.
Filippo Bossi, one of our
we met Filippo at Worlds.
Yeah. We do like Filippo, don't we?
We do. He is one funny guy, and he owns a board game shop in Italy.
That's true.
It's pretty cool.
He asks, do you think that character mechanics or abilities and their lore are well geared into the game?
Jason got some twang back this week.
That's hard. Yeah, I know. And then cite your favorite and least favorite character or card from a thematic point of view. It's like how do you mangle Star Wars quotes into Destiny lingo?
Mm-hmm.
from a certain thematic.
I'll let the Wookiee win. They did a great job with that.
I'll go first.
Never tell me the odds.
I think they do a really good job of making the mechanics and abilities geared toward the character or ability card. Case in point, Old Man Luke using his shields as offense, I think is pretty thematic. He like that whole way of the Force thing and Force illusioning his way to killing Kylo Ren. He's doing it. So I think that's very, very thematic in that sense.
I'm trying to think like what would my least favorite thematic card be. And I'm not sure there's any. There is because the game is actually
would be mine.
Least thematic.
No, my least favorite.
Oh, your least favorite.
But that's very thematic. What's the least thematic card?
The least thematic card. Everything's so
One of those terrible art ones.
It's very well themed. Oh, nice. I like the sweet bobblehead.
I don't.
That's tough. They're all very well themed.
And some of them are.
I would say where it would be an art. That's probably what would sway me. Is there'd be an art issue.
I mean, there are some cards that are
Orchid
just
Pilot.
that are so well themed that they're bad cards.
True.
Like, I mean, really, the pod racing plot. Like, really, like that's not a card that's like good that we know of. But it's exceedingly well themed. Man,
how about Roll On? They just put
I love
BB-8
that card. What are you
there.
talking about? That's all he does.
Sarah loves that card too. I'm down with it.
It's a handy card.
Man, that's so cool. No, I don't. That's a good question, and I would have to like actually flip through the binder to think of something that's not themed well to really figure that out. Oh, I don't know. Sorry, I don't have a good answer for that, Filippo. But his second question is: is he still our favorite listener?
Oh, I'd say he's up there. We love all of our listeners.
We love all listeners equally.
Filippo did win me over a little bit when he told me he ran a board game shop.
that's all that sways you.
The unfortunate part
it's like the
is
secret code word.
Yeah, but the unfortunate part is anything he sells is probably not in English. So
I can learn Italian.
Yeah, you're gonna learn Italian just so you can play 20% off board games they have to ship from Italy.
Right? No. I'm just gonna go to Italy. I'm not shipping. Go over there.
Yes, got it. So Impulse. Do you want to talk about that Impulse thing real quick?
Oh, what? No, sure. Go ahead.
He put in a Galactic qualifier for September 29th. It's in Germany.
Aha! Thank you. I was right.
You're not crazy.
Yeah, jury's still out on that.
It doesn't say where, or it does say where, but I don't know what it says because it's in German.
Anyways,
it's a tech museum. Anyways, yeah.
Switching over to a couple of the questions that came from the Chance Cube Hangout, which are less serious, but it feels like a good time to add them in here. Joe Harris, who hasn't been on our chat for in a while, but he did ask, is the Chance Cube troll a legend or a myth?
Well, it's becoming a myth.
It's a myth now. Where's Joe at? Calling him out.
Well, he was becoming a myth, but Impulse is here.
Although in Joe's defense, he had a new tiny human.
Doesn't matter. No excuses.
I'm going to have a new tiny human. Hopefully I don't disappear.
I think you should just bring her on stream.
Yeah, I'll have to ask the wife's permission, but I don't think that would be a problem.
Yeah, you gotta do it every once in a while.
Our philosophy on the social media of our child is not as stringent as others.
We could blur something. I don't know.
Yes,
get that
definitely.
blur filter in front of her face.
Yes. Put her in a wiki costume. I don't know.
Kenneth Ernest asked, "Why is the Ken so freaking awesome?" I think that's just I don't know. I can't answer that question.
There's your troll right there. Although he did, I'll give him credit. He did TO the event that I was at on Sunday and did a great job.
But Ken did?
He did.
Did he
Ken
play?
TO'd that event. And it was his Snoke. See, I've faced that deck a couple of times, but it was his Snoke, Dr. Aphra, Sienna deck that I played. It was our friend Jonathan who won with, Yoda, Leia. So
Very
Gotcha.
nice.
kudos.
And the last question that came from our hangout came from Simon Willis, aka Sith Holocron, aka the newest member of the Chance Cube family. Why is it called the Chance Cube? Kim?
That's a Jason answer, not a Kim answer.
Why is that a Jason answer?
Because Jason loves Watto.
No, it's actually not. I mean, that's actually, I don't know if that's a serious question or not, but I want to answer it anyway. Why is the Chance Cube called the Chance Cube? I mean, it's kind of self-explanatory, really. When you think about gameplay in Star Wars, right? Everyone kind of leans towards Sabacc, and there's a lot of podcasts that are named after Sabacc or things in Sabacc. I know there's the Idiots Array podcast out there. That's a general Star Wars podcast, but it's kind of taken that one. Anything like Cloud City stuff, all that stuff has been used, and I thought, and when I was trying to come up with names for this show, I don't know how I got drawn to the die that was in episode 1, the movie that some like and some
4
do
people
not.
watched. Oh.
Wow, episode 1 hate. Don't like it.
No, I don't
Don't
hate
hate.
episode 1. I don't hate episode 1 at all.
Don't hate.
But of course, his die was called a Chance Cube, and with Star Wars Destiny being the new hot game on the market, which we didn't even know was hot when the show started, as a one-man podcast with me and a mini disc recorder in my guest bedroom. Oh yeah, it was like episode 10 before I got like a real microphone plugged into a real computer. It was
Wow.
it was pretty. And this was when I was recording. This is when I was using 2 laptops to record the show, and I did that for a long time.
You did do that for a while.
Now
I do
we're
remember.
so advanced.
No,
You were still using 2 when I came on the show, I think.
what's funny though is like we're technologically more advanced, but the show quality has dropped tremendously, or raised depending on your point of view.
Wow.
I felt
Quality
like
dropped.
A2 Brute.
That's pretty harsh.
So
No,
we got to 100 shows, but we didn't get to 101.
Yeah,
We
this is
did.
where
You
we
guys
all-
just lost.
It's
You
back
lost
to
a host
Jason and the MIDI record now.
Because both of y'all murdered me. That's what happened.
Jason's back on the mini disc.
Yep.
I'm not sure what that thing is.
Click, 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 click.
Can you imagine?
This week on the Chance Cube.
I didn't mean to offend anyone. That's not what I meant. Now I
My
feel
feelings
bad.
are a
It
little
was
hurt. I'm
fairly
gonna eat more cake.
offensive, but we'll just let that one slide.
It was.
I'm gonna eat more cake.
Because we're funnier now, and
But that means the show quality went down?
wow.
We're gonna have an after. We're gonna have an after.
We need to have a
about
meeting,
it. Funny.
guys. Show cut short because we need to have a meeting.
All right, Jason's humor not well received. Understood. Put foot in mouth.
Next
Continuing
week
on.
there'll be a Jason show and a Kim and Mike show.
Guys, I got something for you.
Who?
I think it's time.
You brought me a
for
present?
Jason and Kim.
Uh-oh.
It is,
What is
the new and improved
Uh-oh.
Emperor Palpatine lightning round. We got a new set of questions, folks,
Oh, this is exciting.
right here. And you two will
This
be the
makes me
first 2 to
proud.
go through it. Because as the hosts, we never get to go through it. So
No, I was
figured
kind of salty that I never got to do it. So one day I weaseled my way
Then you
in.
know what? You're gonna be first, so you can make sure
Suck
that
on
you
that,
go
Jason.
through this one. It's new, it's improved, and we're gonna have a new soundbite to go with it too.
I'm so excited.
Ooh.
Here we go, folks. Kim, you know the rules. Say the first thing that comes to mind when I ask you the question.
Cake. Oh, okay. We haven't started yet.
The answer is always cake. All right. And first question: what is your favorite Star Wars movie?
Ooh, not Han Solo. I still like the original. I still like the original.
The original, very first one.
Yep.
Okay. All right. Your favorite Star Wars character?
Han Solo.
Animated or
Always.
live action?
Ooh, that's close. I'm gonna say live action, but animated is bringing it on awfully strong lately.
If you're a Monopoly piece, what Monopoly piece would you be?
The doggy.
All right. Aggro or methodical?
Aggro.
Shout out your FLGS.
Epic loot.
In.
Oh yeah, Springfield and Centerville, Ohio.
All right, and finally, will Kylo stay dark side?
I hope he falls down a damn pit. It stays dark forever because he killed Han.
Okay.
Wow.
All right.
I like it.
Jason.
I think he should. I think him being redeemed is just too neat and tidy of a bow.
Think so? Okay.
I don't think you should be saved by Kylo. I'm a Kylo hater.
Jason, first question.
okay with
Favorite
that.
Star Wars movie?
Return of the Jedi.
Favorite Star Wars character?
Wicket the Ewok.
Ooh, animated or live action?
Live action.
If you were a Monopoly piece, what Monopoly piece would you be?
The top hat.
So fancy.
I picked that for you too.
Thank you.
Aggro or methodical?
Methodical.
Shout out your FLGS.
House Rules Gaming, Kissimmee, Florida.
And finally, will Kylo stay dark side?
Against what I would like to see, he will probably turn to the light right before he dies.
Yay, die! Oh,
Yeah. Bold predictions. Okay, that was the new
I'm
and
also okay
improved
that he dies.
Emperor Palpatine lightning round.
I dig it.
Before we wrap this section up, there's one more question I think we should touch on. We can kind of wrap a couple of these together, especially since Monk's. I don't know if Monk's still in the chat, but I want to make sure we get to his question too. Monk asked with what do we think about the possibility of negative point plots coming to Destiny, and will they be restrictive? And I'll loop that into Mike Eskelson asking, how do you think the game will evolve in the next year? So, So where is Destiny going in your mind, as from what we've seen and what we're going to see?
I think we still have new mechanics coming our way. I still think we'll see some changes. I almost wouldn't be surprised to see another die side.
Ooh.
I think it's going to get meatier. I think it still is going to get meatier. I don't think at a plateau of, okay, here's what we're going to keep. And then I think it's just going to continue to get meatier with new mechanics, possible die sides. That one might be a little bit further because we just recently started seeing indirect damage, but maybe we'll get a health side. I don't know.
That's an interesting thought because how many? Granted, my history of CCGs is fairly limited, and aside from the original Decipher Star Wars CCG, I never stayed with one long enough to see all the mechanics change rapidly. But I don't think you can keep people involved in the game long term if the mechanics plateau ever. I think every set or two. Now, are the mechanics morphing a little more quicker than maybe we expect? I would think so. That's what I'm going to say. Because I think even though plot cards are not new, the introduction of a negative point plot card drastically could change character pairings unless there's a strong. There's got to be a strong
there's got to be some kind of penalty.
Like you
for
can't
using
attack
it,
on your first turn, or you can't activate your characters in your first turn, or you start with no resources.
Yeah,
something really crazy. I do predict. I should pull up my predictions document actually. That we have another color coming our way at some point in the next 3 sets. I would love to see something other than red blue, because X-Wing just split out into two new factions, right? So they have 5. Am I making that up? So I wouldn't be surprised if Destiny somehow goes in a different direction. I would also love to see multi-factioned characters. I would love to see a half red, half blue.
Yeah, Jim has been calling for that. He's mentioned that for a while. I think we'll have a sidebar at some point. Is that right? I'm not an MTG player. Is that what it's called?
Yeah, sidebar.
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely think that's coming. When that happens, though, you're going to have to go to a best of 3 format on any competitive play, because if you have a sidebar, you have to be able to access that sidebar and make changes. So that's a whole nother thing. What do I think about the possibility of negative point costs coming to Destiny? It's not. They're coming for sure. it's going to have a crazy effect. The pairings we're going to see are going to be out of control. I think there definitely has to be some sort of crazy buff or crazy, crazy penalty for doing it. I don't know. Maybe for every point you go over, you draw one less card or something like that.
Ooh, hand size restriction.
Yeah.
That would be an interesting way to make it.
Because you can get some tanks out there.
Well, I mean, even a -1, even a -1 pointed plot card could bring back Thrawn and Car.
Mm-hmm.
With the new balance of the Force, right?
Well, yeah.
I mean, all these, the balance of the Force have negated these deck types because it made these character pairings impossible. Will make them possible again. So, what is the negative effect that balances out the fact that Thrawn Car could be a thing again?
Impulse said you could do a sidebar where, or
I think they're called a sideboard.
Yeah, sideboard. I don't know. I just keep saying sideboard.
My bad. See, I don't play Magic, you guys. That's right.
Yeah, I don't know. I keep saying sidebar. Sideboard. Where after you see the character pairings in Battlefield, you can adjust. That would have been huge this weekend if I could adjust it after not seeing any mill all weekend. Take all the dang mill cards out. Yeah,
I'm gonna just bring this deck out.
That would definitely be interesting. Otherwise, how do I think the game will evolve in the next year? I wouldn't be surprised if we saw something where we saw a bigger deck for drawing, a bigger draw deck. I would love to see it go to 40 cards. I think that would be...
Isn't Magic awesome. 60 cards?
Yeah, Magic is 60 for Standard or Modern, and then 100 for Commander.
So what... Now, was Netrunner... I'm trying to think of... Was Netrunner... I don't know.
I can't remember. 45?
Know in the chat? I don't know.
45 cards, and then you had to have 2 decks. You attack and defend deck.
With what I know.
Yeah, stick with what you know, right? I don't know if I ever see deck size changing. I would love, especially with some, them testing some different formats of these national events, even though they may be fan driven. FFG is taking notice of them, seeing some more official rules for some official alternate play.
That would be cool.
Just multiplayer, and then I would love to see. Gosh, you just made me think of something. I was like, oh man, I should say it. More official rules. I said different colors. You were talking about, man, I totally lost it. What a bummer. Oh, sorry. Something like when I first heard the term plots, I was thinking like, something like a quest or something like a mission.
Ooh, mission cards could be
to
cool.
Change your win condition.
Like a totally different format. I could get behind that.
Or you achieve some sort of thing in the game and all of a sudden you can flip your character to something like super powerful, or I don't know, double-sided characters. That'd be kind of cool. Flip this character over.
That would be so tough. After you beat one character, it flips and then you got to beat that character too.
Or just like an upgrade, like some sort of upgrade, like you start with one side and then some
the lesser side
trigger flips it over you.
A beefier side.
Actually, that would be so awesome. That would be like Street Fighter versus like Mortal Kombat, where you had the teams and you would fight, and as your characters died, more came in. Ooh, as your character dies, it flips over. Ooh.
Tag team matches. Let's make that a thing.
Yeah.
Okay, I need to write that down. Format thoughts.
Jason, share all these with Jeremy when you see him next week.
I will. I mean, we'll ask. I think we'll talk alternate formats because we always kind of try to ask that question anytime we see one of the designers.
Team fights would be awesome. That would be really cool.
Yeah, I'd love an official two-headed giant type format or some commander or whatever.
Yeah,
it's possible.
Commander would be cool. It's already possible for Destiny, I think, for Commander. That would change things crazy, though.
Yeah, you just have to. Just have to go there. Anyways,
to go back to that, just real quick to go back to it. Like I didn't tell you guys, but with that deck that I played the plot, this long-term plan where that plot's actually doing something for the entire game. It's not just a setup plot where it does something. And I think we will like those things. I think those could be huge. Like just the simple fact that was there the entire game. You put resource, like it made a huge difference. So I think we'll see a lot more of that. we'll see more of those plots that have a purpose over the course of the game, not just a start. And maybe you'll see some that are an end-game trigger.
Yeah, for sure.
But I thought that was my first real experience with something like that. I was like, man, that thing's really handy.
I'll be real honest. I'm a little bit worried that a lot of players will go to Keyforge, and FFG will focus on Keyforge more than they're.
I agree. I totally.
Even
agree.
though it's completely different, it's not a deck this is a deck building game, and Keyforge is.
But it's coming from such a legendary creator.
I know, but it's a completely different game. But I'm just worried that I'm already seeing a lot of players that are like already moving towards Keyforge. So that's maybe another one of my predictions for next year is that we might see a bit of a hit because
I agree.
Keyforge.
It's such a different price point to get into something like at least what we're being told
it's a fun
now.
Game. Oh well, $9.95 for a deck.
Yeah, and I don't know how that could change if once it becomes popular and they roll out something else, and I don't know what that something else would be. But right now, yeah, to get the starter set is like $30-some, and to get a deck is $10.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a lot different than going out and buying multiple boxes of boosters to try to get the.
Don't talk them into going to another game.
Well, I don't think. I mean, I've gotten most of my cards this last set by drafting or by going out and trading or getting just what I want to build.
Yeah.
Rather than trying to collect the whole thing.
A lot of local communities will need to start pushing draft with new sets as a way to get.
And you're going to need these alternate formats to keep people interested.
Yeah, for sure.
Because if we hit another lull like we did before, that's where you saw a bit of a, I don't want to say mass exodus because that's not right. But there was a lot of people got bored and went and found something else.
Yeah.
And I would almost say like pre-constructed decks that you could walk into a tournament with would be a nice plus for event participation.
Yeah, this whole concept is a thing that FFG is doing because not only did they do Keyforge, but they've made a board game of similar fashion that has unique components to each board game. To each, like, I buy one and you buy one and we have a slightly different board game. It's a thing that they're trying to create. Kind of like legacy games were a thing, now this is becoming a thing.
Sure. Fair point.
I just thought I'd bring that up in
runs its course and does its thing
predictions for next year.
Yeah, no, for sure. And I look forward to seeing where this game goes. I think they can themselves with Across the Galaxy coming out at a reasonable time, and the next base set having some really interesting mechanics to it. I think the game will be in a fine place.
Yeah, there's some great stuff coming out with this next set. I totally agree.
Yeah, so looking forward to whatever happens, honestly. But there we go. That was the questions from the show for the show, and that is the show. So we've done a show
about a show.
So we certainly thank everyone who's been watching this show live this week. Please do know that we are taking a break next week to prepare for our live coverage of U.S. Nationals. We will be posting a question on our Facebook page, and this time it's going to be a nice good old-fashioned poll. We're going to ask you what you think the win condition for U.S. Nationals will be. So do you think Mill will have proven to be the top dog, or will a regular old kill-em-all deck reign supreme? So check that out. Comment on the poll to add your thoughts, and we will I know we haven't done this in a while, but next week we will randomly poll one person's comments from that poll.
Out of Rick's.
We'll win some of Mike Hill's promos back there. Thanks, everyone, for joining us this week. We will be back.
Let's get to 100.
Bye, y'all.
We really appreciate it, and we will see you at 101.
Peace.
This has been The Chance Cube, a Star Wars Destiny podcast, a nonprofit organization dedicated to building community through gaming. Visit our website for all things Star Wars Destiny, including our price watch, meta tracker, and latest articles from the Chance Cube family. Find our latest videos on YouTube, follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and visit us at patreon.com/thechancecube. Your patronage allows us to grow this program and help us give back to the gaming community by sponsoring events, giveaways, and supporting our own community building initiatives. This is Mike Hill, the voice of the Chance Cube. Thanks for listening. The Chance Cube is not affiliated with Fantasy Flight Games, Lucasfilms, or the Walt Disney Company.